Hey guys, I'm Coven, and you're watching Lynnlife. Make sure to subscribe and join the family. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is an all my dolls video, but before I get into it, I wanted to acknowledge the fact that yes, I have been missing for a week. I just needed a mental health break, and there's a lot going on, and good stuff and not so good stuff, and just like a lot, but I'm going to address all of that in my next video. I'm going to be talking about changes for my channel, what's been going on, what you can expect in the future, as well as some stuff that I just feel that I need to address, some stuff that's been going on, stuff I want to talk about, and also just kind of tell you guys who I'm subscribed to and, you know, who I watch, so I think that'll be fun, but that's coming up soon. I wanted to do this video because it's my favorite video to make. I love making all my dolls videos, and I've just been feeling very burnt out and tired, so I figured I should go back to what makes me the happiest and kind of just have fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. So the first doll I pulled out of the cabinet is Phoenix. Phoenix is a doll that I got with my birthday money in 2012, and I loved her when I first got her, and then eventually I kind of stopped liking her as much as I did, but lately I have been growing to love her like more than ever. Next up is Rome. Rome is one of those dolls where I got her because she looked a lot like Marisol, and my Marisol is kind of destroyed, but over time she's actually become one of my favorite dolls on her own. Next up we have Cullen, and a fun fact about Cullen is that she's been wearing these pants ever since I bought them, and with this t-shirt it's just the cutest combo ever, and she'll probably never change. So next up is my historical Felicity, and a fun fact about her is I actually had the chance to get a Be Forever Felicity, but instead chose to get a historical one because I just prefer her and I love her bright green eyes. This is my Leah doll, and Leah doesn't really have any fun facts except that I got her in 2017. A question that I get a lot is, do any of my dolls have backstories or family members? And the answer is no. I just have a terrible memory and wouldn't be able to keep track of it, so I just don't bother. Next up is Nikki. I got Nikki for Christmas in 2007, and she was my third doll ever. And a fun fact about Nikki is that when I first got her, she was my mini-me, but we look nothing alike now. So here's our first custom shown today. Something I want to do with my customs, because I get asked a lot, is I want to tell you guys the inspiration and why I chose to make them the way I did. And so we're starting with Salem. Salem was inspired by 3 fictional characters. The first one was Glimmer from Hunger Games. I loved how she had blonde hair and green eyes. And then it was also from Daenerys from Game of Thrones, but not as much. And then finally, the one that was inspired mostly was Tangled. It was Rapunzel from Tangled, and how bright green her eyes were. I loved that, so that was my main inspiration for Salem. Next up is Sadie, and the only fun fact I have about her with her eyes or custom or anything is that I felt like she was boring with blue eyes because she looked a lot like McKenna, and I liked it, but at the same time I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. This is Mia, and I got her for $40 off of eBay, and I thought I was going to have to get her a new head, but luckily when she came the pictures were deceiving and she was actually perfect and I didn't need to, so that was pretty cool. This is Lily, and a fun fact about Lily is her opening video on my channel was actually the first video I ever had that got a good number of views, and it was super exciting for me. Here we have Charlotte, and Charlotte actually I've been looking into for a long time, turning her into a custom, because I'm not a huge fan of her hair. I originally was going to go for a number 58 vibe, but since I have number 58 now, I got to kind of do creative freedom on that, so I'm pretty sure at some point in the near future I'm going to be basing her off of my favorite character from Black Panther. So leave your guesses down below what you think she's gonna look like, but I'm super excited. This is Alex, and a fun fact about Alex is I actually got another dress at the same time that I got this doll, and that's a Christmas dress, and I actually only ever put it on Alex. So around Christmas time you guys are gonna get to see that dress, but it's only ever been on her, and it's the only item I have that I only keep on one doll. This is Luxor, and fun fact, Luxor is actually the first doll I ever tried to make into a mini-me, but it didn't work out all that well. This is Athena, and a fun fact for anybody who is new is that she was actually the very first doll to ever star in one of my intros for my channel. This is Eden, and a fun fact about Eden is I actually was waiting to use the name Eden for about 3 years. I've been waiting for the perfect doll and it's just never felt right. I've been holding on to the name, but she is the perfect Eden, so I was really excited to finally get to use the name. This is Nellie, and a fun fact about Nellie is she's actually about half an inch taller than any of my other dolls, and I have absolutely no idea why. This is Kita, and a fun fact about Kita is she's actually the first doll I ever eye swapped. The only reason why I did it was because I wanted to see what a Just Mold would look like with blue eyes, because this was back before Create Your Own was a thing. This is Coven. Now Coven is the only doll I have that was very carefully planned out, that kind of has like a personality, not a backstory, but definitely she was heavily inspired by the woods. I wanted her to be a nature girl, not like Lainey, but more troublemaker, likes to climb trees, get dirty, that kind of thing. So I definitely wanted her to be wild inspired, and that definitely shows through on all of her features. I chose the Jess mold because all my favorite dolls are Jess molds, and I wanted her to have a chance to be one of my favorites. The hair, I just loved it, and the question I get the most about is her eyes. They were inspired by 3 different things. The first thing I've already told you about were my bunny's eyes. The second thing is I like huskies and how they have 2 different colored eyes, and I thought it could kind of be wolf inspired, again, like nature. And then the final thing is I actually had a best friend in elementary school who had 2 different colored eyes. One eye was all blue, the other eye was like half blue, half brown, and I always thought it was the coolest thing ever, and she always hated it. But as soon as I found out that dolls could have 2 different colored eyes and the create your own line, I decided from that moment on, like, this was an awesome chance for me to really do what I always thought was so cool with my friend. This is Danny, and a fun fact about Danny is she's actually the doll that got me back into dolls back in 2010. She was my 4th doll, and from there, it grew to be 40 plus, so she's the doll I have to thank for that. This is Marisol. She was my very first doll, and that's the main fun fact about her, but also that I looked at the catalog for 6 months before I was able to get her, and I freaked out over her the whole time, and finally when I got her, it was just probably one of the best days ever. This is my Pleasant Company Addie, and a fun fact about Addie is I actually want a current historical Addie as well. I love my Addie, but I want one that's more modern, and I think I'll name the new one Elliot. This is Phoebe, and a fun fact about Phoebe is that while she does not look like the actress, she's actually named after Phoebe Tonkin, who was in the TV series H2O, which I was obsessed with when I was a little kid. This is Gigi, and a fun fact about Gigi is while I've only had her for a couple weeks, she is easily becoming one of my favorite dolls of all time already, and it's absolutely crazy how fast that's happening. This is Cassie, and a fun fact about Cassie is that she's actually a Be Forever Caroline, and I got her even though I currently also own a historical Caroline. This is Koa, and a fun fact about her and why she is the way she is that she's my mini-me, so everything she is based off of what I look like. This is Bianca, and a fun fact about Bianca is I opened her on my channel, and she is a custom Leah, and she's so cute and very easily one of my favorite customs I own. This is Cairo, and a fun fact about Cairo is she just might get in the way of me getting all of the Girl of the Year dolls because she looks exactly like Luciana, and I don't know if I'm gonna bother getting Luciana, so she just might ruin my plans for me. This is Rebecca, and a fun fact about Rebecca is this doll will not be staying with me. She'll be getting shipped back to American Girl and getting replaced because she has a lot of flaws. This is Alice, and a fun fact about Alice is I thought that if I named her Alice that I'd like her more than I did before, which was kind of true in the beginning, but I still just cannot connect with this doll. This is Jordan, and a fun fact about Jordan is she's the only doll that my parents have ever bought for me, so she's really special because of that. This is Kit. I got Kit for Christmas in 2010, and a fun fact about Kit is I actually thought that she was Nellie and that Nellie was Kit when I was younger, but it was just very confusing. This is McKenna, and a fun fact about McKenna is I actually went to the store to pick her out, and I couldn't find a good one, so my dad actually went to the top shelf and found the perfect one for me. This is Caroline, and I'm gonna tell you right now, a fun fact about her is that she's one of my prized possession dolls. I am obsessed with her, and she's actually a historical Caroline that has the later eyebrows. This is Avalon, and a fun fact about Avalon is that her unboxing video was actually the first video that I ever posted to my YouTube channel. This is Jess, and a fun fact about Jess is that she is the only doll that I keep in her box as far as like strapped in because I'm paranoid of ruining her. This is Samantha, and a fun fact about Samantha is that I've actually wanted her for close to 13 years by the time I actually got her. This is Krissa, and a fun fact about Krissa is not only did I beg for her for Christmas in 2011, but I also own her llama as well, but I never have shown him on camera. This is my Kanani doll, and a fun fact about Kanani is that she's probably my most long-standing favorite doll of all time, and she's always been within the top 3 ever since I got her. This is Sage, and a fun fact about Sage is she was actually the last doll I got before going on my collecting hiatus in 2013, so she was kind of the end of that second round of doll collecting. This is Elizabeth, and a fun fact about my Elizabeth doll is she's probably the doll I'm most protective over. I never let anyone touch her, and anyone that's ever come over to my house, I'm like, you can see all the others, but do not touch my Elizabeth. So those are all of my dolls at the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to look out, like I said, for that next video coming up either later this week or early next week, because it's very, very important and it'll give you a lot of information about my channel and where it's headed and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys!